K-State. Coach Kleiman, love him. Both of us come from small beginnings, and we're here. Phenomenal coach, phenomenal man, phenomenal person, great leader. You understand his accolades, but I just love his demeanor, man, his composure. I love the way he do what he does, and he's been consistently do it for quite some time. The team is strong and ran the heck out of the football last week. They gave up some things defensively, but they're playing a really good team. But these guys, they get after it. They take the understanding and the personality of their coach, and they compete, man. They really compete. They got a quarterback who can get it done. We saw that. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Last year, I think he hit my dance, and that was funny. That was hilarious after he scored. I like when kids do that. That's funny to me. But respectful team, great group of guys, and they're trying to get after it. They definitely have a bowl riding on it, and we're trying to keep them from that. So we're trying to play spoiler this week. But other than that, love him to life, man. I really do. And I love what he's accomplished there. Okay, there we go. Soccer advanced to first Sweet 16, 17 wins, school record. Volleyball 22-7. That's phenomenal as well. They have a game Friday versus BYU. Men's cross country finished 10th and the women's 13th in NCAA championships last Friday. Men's basketball undefeated, heads to California this week. Women's basketball is 5-1, has won 4 straight. Ski team. I love the darn ski team. I'm just thinking about if I had the opportunity to ski, would I be on the ski team? When once upon a time, like, see a brother on the ski team. I ain't seen that yet, but we're gonna accomplish that here at CU. Ski team is looking strong this season. I'm sorry. CU should also have a solid contingent for current former athletes competing in the Winter Olympics in February, which is awesome. Lastly, club women's rugby. I didn't even know we had a club women's rugby team advanced to the national championship game, and we'll take on Northwestern December the 6th in Houston. Wow, I didn't even know.
I didn't know until yesterday.
For real?
Yep.
What other club teams do we have? I know we have baseball.
There's about 30 or 40 clubs.
We got hockey?
Hockey and soccer.
Yeah.
Lacrosse.
Well, why would you have a club? Because you got a soccer team.
Men's soccer.
Oh, men's. Okay, the men's club. Thank you. You got a pair. Yeah. Okay. I think I've seen the baseball team play. And I think Shiloh was going to play for the baseball team one time. I've stopped. They play down the street, right? I've stopped over there a couple times. I've stopped a couple times and watched. I don't think that was our team playing, but I've stopped and seen a few games over there until they start coming up. You know, I want to get an at-bat. If you're going to come up and bother me, get me an at-bat. Let me get a hit. I need a hit right now, all right? Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Nikki, go ahead.
Nikki Evers, Yahoo Sports. Hope you're doing well, Coach. In this day of college sports, how valuable is it to have a quarterback that's committed to this program?
It's very valuable. Not only a quarterback, to have at least 35 committed to this program. It's not just a quarterback. Quarterback is very prominent because the quarterback will build you or kill you quickly. But you need multiple players, corners, little skill position, linebackers, a couple guys in the middle. You can have one on the edge and you can hide the other one, but offensive line to protect the quarterback as well, a good back, a couple receivers, tight end. Like you need other pieces as well, but the quarterback is definitely the main piece. That's very vital.
Jack, go ahead.
Coach Jack Carlo.
Jack, you early today, baby.
Really? I do have a second question.
Yeah.
So I asked you mentioned playing spoiler against Kansas State.
Yeah.
Just overall, what's your message to this group to finish strong?
Finish strong. Finish strong. You got to finish strong. I mean, it's almost like you got gas in the tank, but you got to have a full tank because you're running out. You're running out in that third or fourth, and you're making some mistakes that we can't recover from, and that's not indicative of who we are, but it seems as though we got to do better. I say that every week, but we got to do better, Jack.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell,
Yes, sir.
the camera. A couple questions for you.
Okay.
First off, on Saturday night after the game, Juju kind of left the door open to possibly not playing this week and redshirting.
Yeah.
Has that decision been made? Do you know if he'll play this week?
Yeah, it has. I'll tell you about the conclusion of it. Yeah, it has.
Okay. And then just second question I have for
Okay.
you is, you mentioned K-State's running game, and they ran for a ton of yards on Saturday.
Yeah.
They got you guys pretty good last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's the challenge of their run game and trying to stop that?
They're physical. They run the ball. Whenever you have a quarterback that's a threat also that pose like that's a threat because the quarterback can run as well. You're going to load the box up. You're going to challenge him to throw the darn football around the yard instead of just running the football. It's demoralizing when people run on you at that clip. Throwing the football, that hits you quick. But if you're going to kill me, man, let me just go ahead and get over with. Don't just bleed me out, But those guys are pretty good. They know what they're doing. They've been successful with running the ball downhill. We got to stop. We know it's not like we don't know what's coming. Sooner or later, you got to just man up and take on the responsibility to stop the run.
John Treach, 9
How you
News.
doing, John?
Good coach. You're a thoughtful guy. Have you found yourself just reflecting more this week, more than most, on the season and the program?
No, I reflect every week. Yeah. You got to understand, man, I don't break glass in case of emergency. I know how to get it right. I'll get it right. We were headed in the right direction, and some things happened, and we took a quick left instead of staying right. But I know how to get it right, and I will. I will. We'll be sitting in here at a point in time last year, and I told you I will. I was. And we got it. Got some key pieces that's there that you can work with, and I'm happy with that. Sometimes you just need to recalibrate, you need to reset, you need to get a redo. It's like kids when they playing video games. When it's not going right, they hit reset. We need to reset right now.
Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you feeling?
Good.
Scott Proctor at DMVR. Signing day next week, how do you just feel about this 2026 recruiting class so far? And
Well-
maybe what are you still hoping to maybe add via
I'm
high
not-
school or the portal? When it opens?
You want 15? You want about 15 to 17 high school kids. Why do you say that, Coach? Well, check the statistics. You get 30, are they going to be here in 2 years? Statistically, check the statistics. So when I talk to you, you understand what I'm saying, and you understand why the method to my madness. Nowadays, if kids aren't playing by that spring of that second go-around, they're out. They jump in the portal. You got to figure out the strategy. What do you want to go? How do you want to get it? The strategy a year ago was the same strategy it was last year, and you hit on your portal guys. You hit on your freshman guys. This year, you hit on your freshmen, to me, some of them, and you missed on your portal. So that's why we're sitting where we're sitting. It's not like you didn't have a strategic plan. Now, you had a strategic plan. You missed. Sometimes it happens. And I'm going to take responsibility. I'm not going to say we missed. I missed. That'll make you feel better about it? Yeah, I know you don't care.
One more follow-up. On your last answer, you was talking about you feel like you have like a group of guys.
Core.
Core. That's
Core,
the word.
offensively.
Got you.
Offensively.
Does it feel like you just kind of have to add around the edges around the core? Or does it feel
Offensively.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the defense. I'm not speaking of the defense right now. I'm talking about offense. You have, bless you. You have several young men, and you always plan for 10 to 15% that you may lose. You make plans for that. It may be a surprise to you guys, but it's not a surprise to us. And sometimes it is what it is. You got to just, roll up your sleeve and say it is what it is. Let's go get it. Let's go find another guy that can fill that void. So we had a come to Jesus meeting pretty much yesterday, and it was good. It was really good. I'm smiling because it was some highlights and some lowlights, some light spirit. It was good.
like a team meeting, you mean?
Yeah. It was an opportunity for everybody to get it out and flush it, and let's move on. So a lot of stuff came out of that.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Amen.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwannis, DMVR. Just, a lot of talk about leadership and, intangibles. Just what have you seen from Julian and kind of these core guys that you mentioned in that department, and do you feel confident in that department for next season?
He has the ability. Leadership comes with balling, man. It behooves me when you guys think guys could be leaders and they ain't balling. Leaders ball. That's why people follow. You don't follow no one that don't know the direction of how to get there, do you? You find yourself lost. So you got to have ballers that are leaders or don't work. He has a tremendous probability and opportunity to lead, and as each game goes and grows, you're seeing more and more of that. It's hard for a kid, at his age and stage to just jump in with some grown men. Some of these guys have kids, some of these guys, in their own world, some of these guys, and he's trying to lead that as a young freshman. That's a lot to ask, but you could give him some guidelines and some intangibles that he need to work on, and he's done that, man. So I'm proud of the youngster. He hasn't folded like a lawn chair. When we was walking off the field at halftime, he's like, Coach, I'm gonna figure it out. I got it. I'm gonna get it. So he was knowing that he hadn't performed up to capabilities at that point, but he was just triggered to get it right and to go over the tape and go over the things at halftime and come back out the second half and get it right. So I'm proud of him. I know what he's capable of doing. You've seen it. You've seen glimpses. And when you see a glimpse of something, all you need to add practice, and then you're going to see the consistent version of that.
I want to ask you, Coach, you were mentioning like the roster building process that's coming up here.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that process of going through and trying to find the pieces?
Immensely. I really do. And I'm not making excuses by any means, but I missed a little bit of that. Yeah, I know. So I look forward to it. I really look forward to it, and meeting with those guys, interviewing those guys, to making sure that their countenance, their desire, their want, that fire matches with what we have here, or can enhance what we have here. Because it's like a dating game, man. You got to sit there and make sure. Just because a guy's a dog, that don't mean you bring him in, because a dog can mess up your yard. And you just got to make sure that person is the right guy, and they really want this and not want this for a check. And I think every coach is dealing with that, trying to understand who is who. Because one thing that we don't have in life is measurables for the heart. If we could measure that, my God, we wouldn't waste time on some of the things we're wasting time on. Measurables for the heart, especially with relationships.
When you mentioned missing, were you talking about when you were out this summer?
Yeah, two ways. Missing this and missing identifying that. Yeah, it's two misses. I missed it both ways.
Okay, Coach Leo Bear with Scope of Sports. Looking at that offensive line group, what have you thought about the coaches, having that trio this year, and do you feel comfortable with the way the young guys are developing?
Man, let me tell you something. Our offensive line performed. Everybody in this room will sit up here and say, whoa, we could have had those guys last year. We would have won the national championship. Am I right or wrong? So those guys have performed. That had not been the problem. There's been a plethora of problems, but that has not been the problem. And I know we're losing several guys that are going to be gone, I think 3 starters. But the guys that we have right now that are asserting themselves as backups and getting playing time, like, a couple of them right now. I'm looking at them in their faces right now. But these guys can play. And they know all they need is a good offseason, a good spring, and they're going to be ready to compete.
And then secondly, you talked about, supporting the other sports on campus. Will we be seeing you at any of the men's or women's basketball games?
I hope so. Yeah, I got to get this team right. That's my focus right now. Yeah.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I've been waiting to ask you this one for a little while. And based upon what you said to Scotty and to Brian about missing in 2 different ways,
Right.
I think it's a good time. Before the year, dating back to spring ball, you'd said many times that you felt like you had a better team than
Yeah, I did.
last year.
Really did.
Where did that deviate? Or is that in those 2, do
The
misses
thing
factor
about, man,
in?
you have no idea how bad I want to answer that question. But see, if I answer that question, you're going to think I'm placing blame in this on people, and I'm not. But when I tell you guys the truth and I'm transparent with you, you find fault in the things I say. So when I tell you, guys, we make mistakes.
Yeah.
We made mistakes. Forget we. I made mistakes. It makes you guys feel better about that. I made mistakes. Okay? I got to correct those.
I guess I was just wondering because, you tell us like, hey, I see things in practice and stuff. It
Yeah.
just feels like, that was a big deviation there. So
Oh, no, definitely. But
is what it is. Understood.
no, yeah. If I say what I want to say, you're gonna find fault, and I can't do that because I'm not built like that. That's why I take it. I take it. It all starts with me and ends with me.
Fair enough. I was debating upon whether or not to ask you now or
Never.
after the game.
No, you never debate, man. It is what it is. So always feel free to ask me what you want to ask me. If you get it off your chest, I'm gonna try to get it off mine because sometimes I'm thinking the same thing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
You know, I did this for like 20 years, right?
I do. I do. I do.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, look, I know you hear some of the talk, right? You
Yeah.
know, about what happened this year. You've competed in every arena. You
Yeah.
really don't have much left to prove personally.
No, that's
I
not
don't
true.
think.
That's not true.
I was wondering, does it fire you up again when people start to maybe
First of all,
doubt creeps in?
this is what I'm called to do, and to take a L, take a L. You have no idea how hard that is to a winner. So then you got to placate what is a win. I know you winning. Nobody want to hear you winning academically. Nobody's going to jail. These kids are really good young men, but they don't give a darn about that. They want to win games, and that's what we're here for, to win games. So that's my only thought. That's what I want to do. Like, I didn't want to really go. I wanted to go see my son, but then I don't want to take a L with me. I wanted two W's, over the weekend. And so that had me feeling a little funky because it's almost like you don't like that. I don't like that on me, man. I don't like that. I'm not you could be a loser, a guy who lost games.
Right.
I would rather be a guy who lost games than a loser because I'm not a loser. And that bothers me, man.
And that was what I was asking about. Is
Yeah.
I know how much you hate to lose, and
True.
so based upon the competitor that you have been, et cetera, I imagine that train is pretty loaded up with coal right now.
Yeah. I can't wait to sit down. I can't wait till this darn portal opens. I can't wait to see, what we're going to come up with by the conclusion of, signing day, whatever it is. I don't give a darn if it's, whatever it is, you're going to add more. You're always going to add or subtract more. That's just it. But I'm not going to go crazy over grabbing something just to appease you guys. That don't make it happen. I mean, you got to think about, those two defensive ends, those young guys, they're going to be pros, man. Those guys are pretty darn good. Those receivers are going to pay dividends as well. Chauncey Gooden is going to be a pretty darn good player. You got Juju is going to do his thing. So you have a core of Yo-Yo is really, he's a redshirt freshman. Same thing, like BDS on the other side of the ball. He's going to do his thing. Like, you got some youngsters that you got a core with. You just got to add, not just youngsters, you got to add experience with youth. You just can't go all youth, you can't go all experience. You got to just blend it a little bit. And that's what we've been trying to do. No problem.
Hey, Coach, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just, you mentioned the transfer portal. Obviously, with only one window this offseason, about a month from now, how confident are you going to be that you guys can accomplish everything you need to in that abbreviated window?
Well, you may
this
not
summer?
accomplish everything you need to because that takes a lot of money. So you may not be able to do that, but you're going to do what you're capable of doing to heal some woes that you have. And a lot of that is up front. A lot of that is on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of that stuff is up front. Linebacker, we got some youngsters coming in the secondary that I can't wait to see. So we know what direction we want to go, and we're going to get there. We just didn't get it right last year. We got it right the year before. We really did.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Monica Costello, Associated Press. I just wanted to ask you, is some of the maturing with Juju having to do with changing his hair?
That's a good one. Yeah, I think he matured immensely for that. He got that thing braided up after that incident happened. But you know what? He's much more talkative. He's much more understanding. He looks for my voice in what I want to say to him after each series or going back on the field after prior to that series. He looks for that because I'm just trying to not to overwhelm him, but to give him some little component that'll help him get to the next level. Same thing in practice. I may blow the whistle and stop in the middle of practice. What down is it? And I want him to know. I don't want him to take for granted it's first or second and 8 because that tells you what we're looking for. We're looking for at least 5 yards on that first down. We're looking for a definitive play that you got to make sure you execute. Okay, you know what defense they're in. You know what play we called. Okay, let's execute. And he's learning that stuff more and more and more, which is good. We just got to do a better job of balancing everything with the run versus pass as well.
Did you have him do it, or did he do that on his own?
In what regards?
His hair.
No, he did that on his own. He had to. Ain't no choice. That's not an option. He had to. He did what was best for himself as well as the team. Yeah. Thank you.
I do want to ask you, was Sunday the first time you'd ever watched Shedeur as a fan?
I think I just posted that. You saw that?
I didn't see it.
I think I just posted that to, didn't I?
It's on your gram.
Yeah. That I'm thankful for just being allowed to sit up in a box with the opposing, the owner of the opposing team allow the dad of the quarterback on the opposing team to sit in his box. Like, how many times did that happen? Like, that is unbelievable, man. So I'm so thankful and appreciative for that opportunity and that moment. That's the first time I've ever watched him play without me on the sideline. I've never seen him play without me coaching him. So that was strange, but it was good and it was healthy because I was just in straight dad mode. I wasn't in coach mode, and I love that I was able to see him gain the first victory.
Were you a nervous wreck at all?
No.
Because you couldn't do anything about it?
No. Thank you, Lord. You know where I was going with that. Thank you, Lord.
Any other questions?
No, I was happy. No, I got a couple more things. Let me give you guys this right now. I've made a decision that Juju is going to redshirt. That's my decision. I want what's best for the kid, what's best for his family, what's best for this wonderful university that has given me the tremendous opportunity and given him an opportunity. I think for the program, it's best for everyone, but mainly it's great for him. So I'm not going to say he was happy because he's a competitor. He wants to compete. He wants to play. His father, they cut from the same cloth. We had that conversation as well. Not that he forced it, that I know him. So we had that conversation. So Caden Salter would start this week's stop, would be the backup therefore, unless something crazy happens, an injury or whatever, in practice, but that's where we're going. So it's not like he came to me saying, Coach, this is not. He's not built like that. That kid wants to play. He wants to compete, and I love him for it. He really does. So that's on me. Questions?
Coach, I guess last one going into the the holiday this weekend. Is there anything you're specifically thankful for, or a positive message you want to put out there?
I would be thankful for a win, tremendously. But this has been a tumultuous season in every realm possible. The Sanders family has been tried and tested in every way imaginable. Each and every kid, my mother, my family, me, but guess what? We're still here. And we would never give up. We're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on loving. We're going to keep on being a blessing. We're going to keep on smiling and styling. We're going to keep on being who we're called to be. I love life, and I try my best to live the life I love and love the life I live, but I try my best always to be a blessing to someone else. And that what has got us through. I was thankful and saw that Shedeur, even after the victory, said some wonderful things about his relationship with the Lord. You got to understand how that makes a father feel, man. Like that, All those nights when they're asleep and you praying over them, and you just don't know if they're gonna get it or not. And when you see them regurgitate some of the things and regurgitate the stories of childhood, and even some of these young men, oh, I'm glad I said that. We lost, but we won. What do you mean, Coach Pratt? I'm glad you asked. Who was the best receiver on the past team we just played? Jordan Tyson. Didn't Jordan Tyson play here? And he left because of several different things. Jordan Tyson found his way into my dressing room downstairs at the conclusion of the game. Jordan Tyson came in there to say, Coach, I apologize. I said, young man, let me tell you something, man. I love you. I appreciate you. I pray to God that you're a top 10 pick, top 5 pick, because you got it. You don't have to apologize to me. You're young, man. I was young. I was making some of the same mistakes when I was a short of your age. I'm just thankful that you got on the right course. He's trying his best to walk with the Lord. I mean, Hines Ward is his coach, and that's my boy. So I understand this, and Jordan told me some things personally. But isn't this what it's all about? That moment. Even though we're getting our butts kicked, I'm sitting up there going through the game in my head, and he walks in, fully uniform, and says that. You got to understand, man, that cleans up a lot of the mess that's going on, that's transpiring right now, but he got it. I just pray that the multitude in our locker room gets it, because he got it before it was too late. And that moment right there, that's all us coaches coach for, that moment. So I'm praying for him. I'm wishing him the best. And I know he's going to do what he does because he's a freak of an athlete. And I'm just proud of that moment. Not for me, for him. I'm proud of that moment. God bless.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Be blessed, guys. Yes, sir. You need me to sign for you? Oh, yeah? I appreciate you. That's a true thank you. I appreciate it.
Jake, you want to start us?
When did you find out last week that you were going to go into the game and start on defense?
I found out that I was going to get some rotation in on the defensive side was when they had brought me back over and saying that they was going to try to move Preston to the safety position and then bring me back into the nickel spot and get some rotation at the nickel so I could be ready and prepared to play for Arizona State game.
What was what was that like for you? I mean, just having to play offense, going back to the spring and all that, and now all of a sudden back on defense again?
For me, it was real good. I felt confident in myself. I always feels confident. DB is a second nature for me, so I felt more in that space of where I could come in and take on the role of where Preston was.
Yeah, Isaiah, you're a guy, obviously, that feels like whatever they ask you to do, you're more than willing to do it. Team guy, right? Step up. Do you feel like, let me think of a better way to put this. How has this year been for you?
This year's been good. Going from offense to defense and playing on offense, I took on the bigger role. Going from special teams to now playing defense. For me, it's just, being a team player, whatever the coach needs, being available. So,
moving forward into next year, is there one area that you'd rather focus on, or are you cool just, being that versatile guy?
I would want to still be versatile, doing it two ways,
Sure.
and still being on a special team as well. You know, if anything what the team needs, you know, I'll want to be that person to step up and take on that role.
Thanks.
I'm Jack Harlow with Buffs on SI. Just walking with Coach Prime pregame, just what has that moment kind of meant to you this season?
It means a lot, you know, since he always does that with his sons and Shiloh and Shadur. Taking on that role, you know, just following that lead, where he comes in and plays that role of the leader of the team, you know, and just walking with him, it just gives me more confidence into the game, knowing that I'm prepared and knowing that he has my back and the team has my back, and just going out there and just playing, giving him all for the team.
Anything else for Isaiah? Nick, you got one?
Hi, Isaiah. Nikki Edwards, Yahoo Sports. I know you have one more game ahead, but you just look towards the offseason. What does a productive offseason look like for you?
The off season for me is, you know, going back home, you know, working on my craft, receiver and DB. You know, staying on top of my skills, making sure to gain weight. That's what my biggest thing I need to do is just gain weight, and you know, just going out here for the off season, just working nonstop. You know, resting, make sure I'm still be able to be available for next year, and knowing the assignments that will be a lot for me for next year.
Isaiah, in your time here, you've seen kind of the highs and the lows for this program. And in your mind, what's the biggest key for you guys to getting back to the team that you were last season?
You know, just players stepping up into that role of being a leader. That would be the biggest thing. You know, ever since we lost Shadur and Travis, you know, they played that leadership role, even with LeJontay in the receiver room when I was in receiver. You know, they just took up that leadership role as, like, you know, coming in every day, working hard, helping out people whenever they need help, and then, you know, just being that guidance for the team and the players.
Isaiah, we've heard that similar leadership comments all year about, you know, maybe you guys were waiting for people to step up and they just maybe didn't quite or maybe weren't quite ready yet. Did it feel like that?
I mean, it didn't feel like that, but, you know, you can't really just come out and make somebody be a leader. Like,
Right.
you know, you have to want to be a leader. You got to have that leadership role where you just step out, like, whatever, like, you don't matter what people say. You just come out here, step out, give your word. Whoever likes it, don't like it. But, you know, just being that vocal leader for the team.
We're about to get to the player movement period here where a lot of guys are going to hit the portal. Playing DB for Coach Prime would seem to be a really rare opportunity that not a lot of people would get. Why should you come to Colorado to learn from what a lot of people say is the best corner of all time?
Coming to Colorado for playing the DB, you learn a lot of gems, especially from him. You know, he played that role in the NFL, so he's a Hall of Famer. So why wouldn't you want to come out here, you know, and learn some key gems from a Hall of Famer where he been where you want to go. So, you know, that's the key aspect. And you have a whole bunch of coaches like Coach Rob that been in the NFL, knows what it takes to get there. Coach Mathis, and all the coaches on the defensive side that have been there. So, I mean, if you want to come play defense or DB or anything of like on the defensive side, I feel like here's the place to come out here and show your talents.
As Haley Rivera, Scoba Sports, you know, just looking ahead to Kansas State, what have you seen from the team, and what do you guys plan to do for Saturday?
I saw from the team that, you know, we're all coming together. You know, since the last game, we came out short, and how we didn't want to expect it to go, but it is what it is. We learn, we grow from it. But from this week, you know, we just got to end it off with a bang. You know, last game away, you know, we haven't got a away win yet, so that's the key thing. You're just coming together, getting this last win for the season.
I just kind of want to go off of that, I guess. But, you know, it's been a tough season, obviously, and a lot of games like Saturday where you're in it for a while and then just can't close it out. What is the motivation for this team going in this week? Have you seen that there's still that fire and passion to go out there and play another football game?
Yes, sir. You know, I always look at how the team is, and it's still fire. Nobody's giving up, you know. There's no give up on the team. Nobody's down. Nobody's thinking about none of that. I still know and feel like the team is still bought in to get through this last game, which is away. So everybody's bought in. Wants to get this win on the road.
All right, thanks, Isaiah. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, Zach Leo, Barroscopa Sports. Coming into this final game, Coach said that we'll have Caden Salter back as the quarterback. Is that a little bit difficult to manage, kind of going from different cadences and different quarterbacks like that so much this season?
No. We switch quarterbacks a lot, so I'm used to everyone and how everyone plays differently. And, like I said earlier in the year, whoever's at quarterback, I have 100% faith in them. So
I'm sure when you got here and when you committed here, you thought that maybe you'd get the ball a little bit more this year. You don't have to say it. I imagine that's what I would think if I were in your shoes. Coach Prime the other day came out and validated that when he told us that we've got a tight end that I think could be a pro. We just haven't gotten him the ball. What does it mean to hear that from him after, I'm sure, some of the frustrations of this year?
It means everything. To have your head coach believe in you like that, I feel like, for me that was a big confidence booster, and yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend.
Hey, Zach.
How you
Jack
doing?
Harlow, Buffalo's NSI. Yeah, just, again, looking toward this weekend, just what's the mindset for this group right now, and just kind of what's been the message throughout this week?
Yeah, I'm not going to quit. There's never been quitting me and this team. I'm taking upon myself to be a better leader and to lead the offense. I think that we're going to go out there and we're going to fight. So.
How do you think Jules has handled himself in this early opportunity? I mean, he's a young kid coming in and getting that type of a shot.
I'm really proud of him. He's a great dude, and he's young, he's learning, but he handles everything very professionally, and he's got such a bright future.
Is that something that fires you up for next year? Like, okay, full season to work with somebody like that?
100%. If you're a recruit in the portal or you're a high school kid, you saw him play. He's the truth. So, I think that's a major selling point for next season.
Zach, you obviously saw what this program was able to do last season, kind of reaching the heights, getting close to competing for a Big 12 title. Obviously, not being able to do that in your first year here with the program. How much does that fire you up, motivate you going into the offseason to get back to what you saw this place was before you got here?
Yeah, obviously we fell short in every goal that I had for the team and for me, myself personally. And so, I've always had a chip on my shoulder, but, this offseason is going to be huge for me and the team. I think that we're just going to get after it with Swayze, man. And that's what I'm excited for.
Zach, even though this year didn't go the way you wanted to, team-wise and probably personally as well, do you feel like you're a better tight end than you were when you got here?
1,000%. I feel like I've got a little better every week. I feel like I've been, getting better, and I owe that credit to my coaches.
And then just another question for you, Coach Prime is sitting here talking about there's a young core here. Mentioned a lot of different guys on offense and defense. Have you been impressed with watching some of these young guys, like was London and Alex and Brandon Davis, Swain, guys like that, and guys on offense? Have you been impressed watching those guys?
100%. Yeah, just like I said earlier, for any recruit, high school or portal that wants to come here, we got a great young core, and I think the main priority is to keep that core together. So.
Hey, Zach, you got another year of eligibility. Just what does it mean for you to be able to have another chance with this team? And then also just, what have you seen from Zane and Corbin, just the future of your guys' room?
Yeah, Zane and Corbin, man. I love those guys. Those are like my younger brothers. I know that they, watch me and want to do some stuff that I do out on the field. And I'm just really impressed by both of their work ethics. They're both great kids, and I think they both have super bright futures here.
From the very little I've gotten to know you since you've gotten here, it seems like you would be an ideal candidate to step up next year as one of the leaders. Is that something that you want to do?
Absolutely. I feel like I have leadership qualities. You know, I don't I don't like to do too many things outside my reach. I try to control what I can control. And for me this year, that was my room, and I feel like I did a great job with that. But the next step for me is being a leader for this whole team. So I'm excited to take that step.
Hi, Zach. Just this year wasn't ideally what the Buffs wanted to produce. On your end, how do you deal with adversity and just go about that week by week?
I feel like I faced adversity my whole life, so it's nothing different. You know, I was not rated 0 stars coming out of high school, so I've always had a chip on my shoulder, and you know, just being here and being in this environment has really pushed me just to be better in every way. So, you know, I also lean on my family and friends, you know, in times where I need them. So.
Anything else for Zach? All right, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
We may have one more. We can cut there if you need to go. Okay. Give me a minute.